I'll share my screen out with you 1 second. And let me see, I need this. And I need to go out to here. So where did we leave off with this the other day? Got the switch finished? Good. All right. All right. So there's my handler, and I'll get my input. All right. So I want you, everybody got this? Everybody good? So if you remember in HTML, actually more like JavaScript, we were capable of including an external style sheet. Do you remember that? So I need you to imagine again that I have this big website. And it has multiple pages on it. This is a pretty important concept for us. Make sure you draw all of this in your notes. All these different pages that we have. And these are all web pages. These are the pages that we have to manage as developers. Not done yet. Keep on going. Write it in your notes. Yes, I want you to really write it in your notes. Yes, your note papers, your notes. All of them. I love that. Come around to people. All of them. Yes. Now, in each one of these pages, write your name. You can just write your initials if you want. I'm serious. Are you doing it? I better come by. When I come by, I better see it. Mom's getting tired. How's your hand doing? Keep on going. How's it going, Ethan? This gives me an opportunity to see how everybody's doing. How's Xavier doing? You got it? Keep writing, man. Ryan thinks I'm kidding. I'm not going to think I'm kidding whenever I give out points here in a minute. Adam's like, I don't give a shit, I ain't doing it. Fuck Flynn. I don't care. MBK, IDK, MBF, MBF, MBF. No lesson to be learned. Write it out. You just copied and pasted that, Adam. Even if you copied and pasted and cheated, you ain't got as many as I got. That does not look as many as I have on the board. I'm going to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 43. 43. How's it going? Got them all? Are they done? How's it going? Ethan, you got them all in there yet? All right, I screwed up. I screwed up this whole thing. I didn't want you to write your initials or your first name in there. I need you to change all those for me, okay? Instead of writing your initials or your first name, write the title of the class, iTech 315. Go ahead. A bit painful, right? Right? Now, scale this example to thousands of pages. All right? Thousands of pages we need to modify. We can use the PHP construct include. And when we do that, we can include any HTML or PHP file into our code. In every place we say include. So, for example, up here at the top, I could say include name.php. And I would do that. I do have to put that in at the top of all of my pages. All right? I have to say I want to include this particular file in the file location. And in that, it has my name. Only your instructor was mean and made you write out your initials and your name, and he actually meant the name of the class. You could do it the old-fashioned way and go through and update all of these, or you could go into your include file and change one file, and it will automatically reflect across every place that that particular include is in. In addition to that, you can have multiple includes. And you can put functions in there as well. All right? So let's play with this. I want to create in my folder a new file called navigation, or just nav. So I want to create a new one, a new PHP file called nav.php. Right now I'm just including it into that classwork with the handler and the input, because I have that as an example, right? In the overall hierarchy, maybe your includes should go into a folder called include. Your photos should go into a folder called photos. Videos should go into a folder called videos, so on and so forth. But for now, for demonstration purposes, we're just gonna do this. So I'm gonna open this up, and I want to make it a PHP file, and I'm just gonna copy over my input. Oops. I don't even need to do all of that. If it's just HTML, I can actually just delete everything out of there. And what I want to do is I want to put in a very basic like heading. So I want to say H1. Yes. Oh, you know what happened? I know what happened. No. It was on extended. And when I changed it to the other, it crashed. Is that better? Yep. All right. So inside of this nav.php, you need to be aware of where you're going to include your information. In this case, it's going to be just some HTML. So this is an include for my header. And I want to save that off. Now, since that's just some code, some basic HTML code, right? That's all that it is. I'm going to come over to my input and on my handler, and just underneath of where it says heading the handler, I'm going to include my PHP. However, it's going to be a separate little script here. So I'm going to say, give me 1 second. So I want to start a new script all the way up at the top, PHP, include the name of my file, and then I'm going to close that script off as well. So multiple points that I'm driving home here. You can put multiple scripts in, and you can put multiple includes in. So I put it there, and I'm going to do the same thing over on my input. Just underneath the title, I want to stick that in. I'm going to save them all off. I'm going to upload them. And once they're uploaded, I'm going to go back to the input. I'm going to hit refresh. Now, I don't like that because of, I want a break in there. I want a break there. Actually, I can put a break in my navigation. Like that. I'm going to hit refresh. Now I have a little bit of a break there. A little bit more of a break. So this isn't included in my header. Now, notice that it's just underneath my title. All right? So wherever I included that, that's where it's going to go. If I change this, it'll go under this is the input. So just kind of play with that just a little bit. All right. Maybe I don't like that break, so I could take that break out there. And I can take that break out there. Hit refresh. But notice that it's on every single page that I have my include now. To demonstrate it further, let's put a couple links in. Let me see, what do I want to do? Trying to think what I want to do. I'll just put a couple of basic links in. Is that right? Doesn't feel quite right. Let's see what happens. Yep, there it is. Notice if I go to the handler and I hit refresh there, there's my FSU right there. And now we can start building our basic navigation for our website. Let's see, I took 315, HTML. No, that's not what I want. What did I do with my basic? Nope, 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 nope. All right, so your guys' basic navigation that you have with your foundation stuff, you're going to start building this navigation. I don't have mine. I don't know where mine's at. I'll look for it after a while. I have another one here. Let me see. There we go. So you're going to take your foundation that you had, and you're going to put it into this navigation, and you're going to start building it appropriately so that when I come to your website and I click on your website, it's going to have a little navigation across the top. It can be with some JavaScript. It can be some with CSS. You've already done it because you have that foundation navigation. You just have to get the navigation that you want placed into there. Then you're going to include that in the top of every reinforcement exercise that you do. You're going to include it in the top of every project that you do. Every file that you do, your navigation goes at the top. And it's a simple include this file. First time you do it, it's going to take you, right now there's not a lot of files there, it's going to take you, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes to do it, right? Then it's going to take you a few seconds every time to update that. Don't forget about this link, it goes here under this drop down. Now you're going to have complete navigation through your whole website for people to look at. Question?
So you mean like when we created the navigation bar in general, like when we click on it, it automatically goes to files that we ate, and then when we edit the files, it automatically goes back?
Right. Yep. So let's come in. Ryan, did you have one up here? Did you put one up here? Where is it? Did you have your navigation up here or no? Okay. Somebody had a nice one. I think maybe it was Ryan. Ryan, if you have yours handy, can you put it up on the site? I'll give you an example here. Put it under your account. It's the only place you can. you get it?
Yeah.
What's it under? Classwork? Oh, there it is. Website foundation. Okay. So I am going to borrow your stuff just so you can see. Which one is the main one? The home page?
All of them should have.
Should have it. Okay. Where am I downloading that to? My desktop. So here is Ryan's stuff. I don't know how well this is going to render. Let me strip some stuff out here. I'm going to come right here down to right there. I'm going to copy that out, and I want to paste it now. Sorry. You got that in there too. There's a couple things I have to strip out of this, but I'll take care of it. Copy. I'll put that into my navigation. And then I want to take this title out, but I need that style sheet, which, whoops, I didn't bring your style sheet over. So let me grab that. All right, so there's your style sheet. I think, take that head out. We'll see what happens. I'll say save. And then, so here is Ryan's header in there. Now I have some other errors. I'm not terribly concerned about that right now. Oh, that's because I clicked on the handler instead of the input. So notice how it updated automatically everything, even on mine, with his stuff. So now, Joshua, you're going to go through. You don't have any mini labs right now, but you do have reinforcement exercises. So under this would be an RE1, and then another drop down where it would say file one, RE1, RE2, RE3, so on and so forth. On each one of those, you put an include for your navigation. Now you got a full-blown website. So everything's starting to come together with it. I want you to work on your reinforcement exercises. So while I'm going to check this, I won't check it on Friday. But if you need a nice diversion, this will be a nice diversion. I will check it on Monday then. Okay? The most daunting thing, you take that, what you already have, you tidy it up with whatever navigation links you need. Right? And then the other thing that you need to be aware of is this. We've talked about absolute versus relative paths. But here's the deal. Where I am right now in my overall structure, do you notice this dot dot? You ever noticed that before? So I want to teach you something called dot dot notation. So this is where I am. I'm in Frostburg, mytech 315.frostburg.edu/users/mflynn classwork. And inside of that sit all of these files. Okay? Now you need to decide, where am I going to keep my navigation file? All right? If I'm going to keep my navigation file inside of something called nav, and inside of that is going to be nav.html or PHP, whatever it's going to be. If I want to have something inside of that, I need to think about, how do I get to that from classwork? So in classwork, which is on the same level, if I wanted to include the nav.php, I need to go ... So it would be include, and I want to say ... slash nav slash nav.html, or whatever I'm calling it. Now the ... means that I go up a level. That's called dot notation. Okay? And it's how we traverse our directories when we're down and we can't go deeper. All right? So what I need is one level up and over. So let me recreate this for you. It's pretty easy for me to create. So I'm going to call this nav. And I'm going to come back over to classwork. I'm going to grab that nav. I'll grab both of those. I'll overwrite both of those. And I'm going to come back up to nav here. Oops. And inside here is going to go nav. All right? So, I want things to display in here. I'm going to delete this out. I'm going to delete that out, and I'm going to delete that out. I want to delete that out. Now watch what happens now. If I try to refresh this, I'm going to get an error that says, hey, I can't find that nav file. So where is it? All right, I'm trying to render at this level, right here under classwork. What I need is up one level, so ... And then I want to go back down into nav. And then I want to go into nav.php. So I need to come back to classwork. And in here, I want to say ... slash nav slash. Let's see if that works, because I might get my slashes backwards. So my input. All right, so there I got some of it. But I'm missing, and it's probably because of Ryan's, the CSS. I probably pointed to the wrong place in his CSS. But there is at least that. Do you understand? We can go over it more on Friday. But that's the only tricky part of doing this, is understanding here when you do the include, where you need to include it from. And once you've done that, you'll be fine. Questions? Everybody good? All right. I'm going to go in and see if I can fix that other now. Ryan, thanks for letting me borrow that. Look and see why your CSS isn't rendering. Yes.
I'll let you know, just in case I forget to tell you, next Friday I won't be here because I'm going to see a surgeon.
Okay.
Do you want a doctor's note at all? Or?
Please. You all good? All right, man. Oh. There it is.
Dr. Flynn,
Hey, man.
like before I took this class,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't really know like some of the things that I